Hello, everybody. I'm Barry Eisenberg, and welcome to Force Forum, the show where we'll take you into the world of the MPF and everything Philadelphia Force. Today, we'll be talking with new Force outfielder and two-time NPF All-Star Trina Peel, Associate Head Coach Ashley Moore, and owner Tom Kleinman. But first, let's look back at recent NPF news and what's new with the Philadelphia Force. The NPF announced that sponsor Nocona has re-signed as the official supplier to NPF. Nocona will provide bats, gloves, batting gloves, and wristbands to all players, and we'd like to thank them and welcome them back for their continued support. In other news, the Washington Glory announced that they'll be calling George Mason University home for the 2007 season, and they also announced that they'll be holding open tryouts to fill one of their available roster spots on Monday, May 19th. Keep watching to see if anyone makes the Glory as a walk-on. And finally, the Akron Racers named their new field manager. After a long search, the Racers have named Shonda Stanton to manage the team. Shonda comes to Akron after having tremendous success as the head coach at Marshall University, and we wish her luck on the upcoming season. We'll get to meet Shonda and the rest of the Akron Racers when they come to the Valley for a 4-game series from June 13th to June 16th. All games are a 7:05 p.m. start time, so stop by and get your tickets now or call 1-800-919-6272, or you can visit us online at PhiladelphiaForce.com. In Philadelphia Force news, Associate Head Coach John Burns' Moravian College team is in Virginia at the NCAA Division III World Series. Moravian is the #1 seed in the tournament, and they played DePauw University in the first round. We wish them the best of luck, and we'll give you a report on how they do in upcoming shows. Now for an update on Force draftees. Leslie Klein and Emily Turner at LSU won the SEC tournament, and they're advancing to the regionals. Sharonda McDonald in Texas A&M took third in the Big 12 tourney, and they should likely advance to the Super Regionals. Megan McAllister of Georgia will go head-to-head with Ashley DeBure and Nebraska in a regional matchup. And Force draftee from Temple University and Nazareth product, Adrian Repsher, was named A-10 Player of the Year. Unfortunately, she won't be able to sign with the Force this year. She'll be getting married and moving to Colorado to pursue her teaching career. She'd like to thank everyone at the Force for the opportunity and wishes them best of luck on the upcoming season. The Force will be participating in the celebration of women in softball festivities at FDR Park, hosting softball clinics for the Phillies across from Citizens Bank Park on May 19th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. This event is sold out, and highlights will be shown on our next broadcast on May 23rd. Then later in the day, the Force will be part of the activities at the ballpark prior to the Phillies game with the Toronto Blue Jays. So come on down to the park, meet your favorite Force players, and see some great baseball. Force players will be situated at the first and third base kiosks, as well as in Ashburn Alley, giving autographs and greeting fans. Then they'll be honored by the Phillies as part of the pre-game activities. On May 21st, the Force is holding invitation-only tryouts at ECTB Stadium. Then at May 22nd, spring training begins. Afternoon workouts will be open to the public on May 24th, May 30th, and May 31st, as well as June 4th from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Tickets are only $5, and they're available only at the gates. So come on down and watch the Force get ready for the 2007 season. And finally in Force news, they'll kick off their preseason exhibition season on May 26th on the road at Washington, and then there'll be 2 home exhibition games before the season starts. They'll be on Tuesday, May 29th against the Washington Glory, and on Friday, June 1st against the Lehigh Valley Lady Gators. So come on down and support the Force. And in addition, Tom Kleinman has announced that TV2 will televise 2 away games at a date later to be announced. Those road games will be the games at Washington on July 21st and at Akron on August 4th. Also, another home game has been added to the current TV schedule. That game will be the August 16th matchup against the New England Riptide. Now, coming up after a short break, Force outfielder Trina Peel joins us in the forum, so stay with us.
Catch the Philadelphia Force all season long exclusively on Service Electric Cable TV and Communications.
Welcome back to Force Forum. Joining us now in the studio is newly acquired outfielder Trina Peel. Trina, welcome, and thanks for taking the time to be with us here today.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Trina, you're a 3-year veteran of the MPF, you're a 2-time All-Star, and in reality, you probably could have signed to play with any team in the league. Why did you choose the Force?
Well, I chose the Forest because it's relatively close. It's to me at Maryland. I'm coaching at University of Maryland right now, so we have the Washington Glory there, but Philadelphia was the next closest spot to come. And I'm friends with a few girls on the team. They kind of talked me into getting in touch with Tom about being on the team this year. So.
Okay, now you've played on the USA Junior Olympic team, the USA National Red team, and the USA Elite team. How does all of your international experience help you play in the MPF?
Oh, just the international experience and playing with the Olympic girls just helps you, just being around top athletes just helps you elevate your game, and playing for some of the best coaches in the world. You know, it just gives you experience all around. Like, I was in that system since my freshman year of college, so that just helped me grow more and more as a player.
Now, in addition to being one of the premier players in the world, you were also an assistant coach at the University of Maryland. How does your coaching experience help you with all the younger players on the Force?
Coaching this season at Maryland will definitely help me just be more of a student of the game, because being on the other side of the fence as a coach versus being a player, like, you learn more strategies and you just look at the game from a totally different angle than as a player. So definitely coaching will help me, and then just me being a veteran too, I can, you know, help the girls, give them little guidelines on, you know, preparation and things like that, and then just even off the field, that helps me.
Now, as far as your game goes, year in and year out, you're among the league leaders in home runs, stolen bases, and runs scored. Tell us a little bit about your conditioning program that keeps you in such phenomenal shape year-round.
Well, in the off season, I really just try to condition just to try to stay in shape, because as I get older, my body, you know, I can't just jump out there and play. I have to, you know, stretch, condition, use a training room, heating pads, things like that. So I really I run a lot and I lift weights really to try to maintain, and I do a lot of speed drills.
Now, Trina, there's a definite LSU connection going on with the Philadelphia Force with draftees Leslie Klein and Emily Turner, you being an LSU alumni. Tell us a little bit about the LSU connection.
Well, LSU is just a phenomenal program. Coach Girard has done a great job with that program and just developing great athletes. And Leslie Klein and Emily Turner definitely are two of the premier players on that team right now. So once I found out about them being drafted here, I was like so excited, and that was awesome. Like, Leslie Klein was there when I student coached my 5th year at LSU, and I seen Emily come in on her recruiting trip when I was there also. So I'm friends with them, and I've went back and played against them in alumni softball games and things like that. So I'm really excited about having them on the team and being able to play with them, because I never did. I was kind of coach them, and just to see like Leslie Klein develop into the player that she is, that's just awesome, and I'm happy to be playing with them.
Now, being familiar with Emily and Leslie and Chelsea Spencer and Kelly Wilkerson, the other girls on the team, what are your expectations for the 2007 season for the Philadelphia Force?
I expect it to be an awesome season. Like, we have so much talent, like all around, like our team, like top to bottom. I feel like we should dominate in the league this year. And just me, I've always been a part of successful programs. I've never really played on a bad team or like a losing team, so I expect nothing but the best this season, because we have all the talent in the right places.
Okay, now everybody knows about your exploits on the field, your history, your career. Tell us a little bit about the things you like to do when you're off the field. What's Trina Peel do when she's not playing softball or coaching a game?
I hang out, watch TV. I love to shop, which is probably one of my downfalls. Just sports. I go to all sporting events. I have a lot of friends who play professionally, football, basketball, baseball. So I go to a lot of the games, travel a lot, you know.
Now, if it weren't for softball, if you weren't coaching or you weren't playing softball, what would we find Trina Peel doing for a living?
Wow, I don't know. I waitressed once before, so you may find me waiting some tables somewhere at a nice restaurant.
Just having fun?
Yeah, just enjoying life. I'm just a free spirit, like, love life, just, you know.
So you're a people person?
Yeah, love people, love the game, love the kids.
Okay, Trina, well, thanks for stopping by, and best of luck on the upcoming season. That was new Force outfielder and two-time NPF All-Star Trina Peel. Next up on Force Forum is Associate Head Coach Ashley Moore, and we'll be right back.
Catch the Philadelphia Force all season long exclusively on Service Electric Cable TV and Communications.
And we're back. Joining us live in the studio now is new associate head coach of the Philadelphia Force, Ashley Moore. Ashley, welcome to the Forum.
Thank you very much.
You're an assistant coach at Temple University.
I am.
You've been a player in the MPF with the New England Riptide. How will your experience help you in coaching the Force?
The more experience, the better. I mean, the more games that I've gotten to play, the more games I've gotten to coach. It's just under my belt, the better I can be. And playing against these players for so many years in college and now getting to coach them is just going to be amazing. And taking everything that I've learned and just putting it all together and standing on the outside of the lines this time.
Now, every coach has their own different managerial style. What would you say your style is?
Keep it simple and have fun. I mean, the game hasn't changed. We still have to throw it, catch it, hit it, and run. It's 60 feet and turn left.
So just basic, sound, fundamental softball.
Pretty much.
Okay. Now, you're in a unique position in that the Force has two associate head coaches. There's you, and there's associate head coach John Byrne from Moravian College. What do you see as the advantages to this type of structure, and how do you think you'll mesh with Coach Byrne?
I think it's a great situation. I mean, John is with his team right now, the D3 World Series. He is an amazing coach, has done some amazing things for this area, and I just cannot wait to learn from him. And then me being young, bringing energy and spunk and a little bit of craziness, I guess. I've been told I'm a little crazy on the field.
So enthusiasm always helps.
Exactly,
Enthusiasm always
and
helps.
every time that we've met, we've just kind of clicked and just can't wait to get out there. So it's
Okay.
a good, great combination. I think
It's a good
Tom
balance.
Tom did a good job.
Checks and balances. You guys get along very well together?
Yes.
Okay, now what do you think will be the main strength of the Philadelphia Force for the 2007 season?
I'm going to have to say our lineup. I mean, 1 through 9, 1 through 10, 1 through 20, however many people we have the hardest job is making a lineup. I mean, we're just going to hit the ball.
Now, do you expect any? I know we have roughly about 14 girls that were invited to the open tryouts.
Right.
Do you anticipate any of them making the squad?
You never know. I mean, there could be that diamond in the rough that got overlooked, and somebody could have a really good day and just
Makes
come out there.
managing the roster even more difficult.
Yeah, we have the biggest challenge is to make a lineup, and it's probably the best challenge that a coach could have. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, now, in addition to being a college coach and a recruiter at Temple University, you're the associate head coach of a professional team. You're out on the speaking circuit and the clinic circuit as well. When do you just find time to get back to Alabama and relax?
I don't. I went home for Christmas for 5 days, so it was a short stint. It was colder there than it was here, so I didn't get to really do a whole lot, but I'm going to try to, there's a few recruiting tournaments down south that I'm going to try to get to. And
So you had a whole 5 days at home?
5 days.
What did you do when you got back?
We actually had a clinic the day that I got back. I flew in, went straight from the airport to Temple.
Now, Ashley, one of the Force's key acquisitions this year was free agent Kelly Wilkerson. I understand there's a little history with you two guys there.
tad.
Just tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we've known each other since we were 12. Played against each other in summer ball, played against each other in college. And Kelly would be on the mound and I'd be up to bat and she's like, I'm going to walk you. And I'd still swing at pitches above my head or whatever. So we've always been competitors, and it was just
Friendly rivalry going on?
very friendly rivalry. And she's always been just like a big sister to me because she's about 6 feet tall and I'm like 5 feet tall. So Kel's always looked out for me. And now we played against each other in the Pro League, and it's just going to be great to be reunited with her. I mean, playing against her is just your worst. You never want...
So it's got to feel better having her on your side as opposed to against.
And our families are very close. We see each other over Christmas every year.
And you have no problem coaching a friend that's so close to you?
Actually, I think it's going to be a great tool because we are just great friends and just have a great respect for one another. And I think it's just going to be amazing.
Okay, now being from an SEC background, there's many links to NPF from the SEC. And there's Trina, there's Ashley Smith. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about that?
Ashley Smith, I actually got to coach for a year when I was at South Carolina and just basically fell in love with her work ethic, and just she's an amazing kid. Well, she's not a kid, but she's an amazing player and will do anything you ask, and I'm very excited to be able to work with her again. I was only at South Carolina for a year, so very excited for that. Trina Peel, on the other hand, an SEC foe of mine who was at LSU for couple years while I was there, is another one that you want on your team. She's very hard to defend, and I think I ran through the wall a couple times for a few of her balls. Eventually went over.
She hits the ball a long way.
She hits the ball hard, and so and she steals, and so I'm very, very glad to have her on our team. And then the girls that we've hopefully drafted, you know, that are playing in the World Series and the regionals right now. I've coached against them while I was at Auburn. So
it's basically the best of both worlds. Everyone's on your
on
side
my
now.
team finally. And
There we go.
I couldn't be happier. So I think Tom did a great job getting these girls in, and it's just going to be amazing. And once you see Trina hit the ball, Kelly hit the ball, you're just going to be, wow, it's going to be.
Okay, well, thank you very much for taking time out of your schedule. I know it's very busy this time of you. Thank you for being here with us today. That was Ashley Moore. She's the associate head coach for the Philadelphia Force. Next up in the studio after a short timeout is owner Tom Kleinman. He'll be here to tell us about some of the upcoming events with the Philadelphia Force. So keep it right where it is. Now entering the forum is owner Tom Kleinman to tell us about some of the upcoming events with the Force. Now, Tom, the Force participated in their first athletic endeavor of the year. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that was fun. Friday was our kickoff event. It was the Lehigh Valley Chamber of Commerce, the East versus West golf tournament, the largest golf tournament they do in the county. And the Force had a foursome together. You're seeing some footage of, I guess, myself there putting there.
Great form. Great form.
The foursome consisted of Mike Zambelli, the Z-Man from TV2. There's Kuzi, Mike Kuzmic, the director of the Lehigh Valley Sports Commission, our long ball hitter. And the fourth member was John Schaefer, the new owner of the Longstreth Company. Naturally, all of these companies are participating in one way or another with the Force as they are sponsors. So it was a fun event, and on top of that, the Force prevailed. We had a streak of 10 birdies in a row. We had 11 birdies actually altogether, and we finished 10 under, and we won the low net for the tournament. It was a lot of fun, though.
Who was the biggest contributor to your team?
You know something, I would love to say that there was one person, but it really was a team effort. Everybody contributed. From drive to putts, it was a team effort.
Okay, so now you're relaxing. Now we're moving on to more important things here. It's the middle of May. Season's upcoming. Tons of preparations to make, especially being the owner of a new team. Tell us a little bit about the preparations made at the stadium and other things just to get the season ready to go.
Well, it's a little crazy right now. We have so much going on. I know you spoke about the Phillies event that we're doing, the girls. Most of the players are flying in or driving in on Friday. We're in the final throes of, I announced on a past show that we've moved the Force offices out of Montgomery County, and we're now housed at the stadium. So we're in the final throes of the construction of those offices over there at the stadium. The press booth is getting some more renovation. It's just, it's 24/7 with details trying to prepare. With the girls coming in and they're at the Phillies, they check in, and Sunday we check them into Cedar Crest College where they'll be staying for the summer, and then of course they're going to help us with the open tryouts on the 21st, and then the 22nd, which is Tuesday, is the beginning of spring training, and you know, it's tomorrow as far as we're concerned.
So all the months of organized chaos are finally starting to come together into a neat little package.
Yeah, well, I hope it's neat.
Now, one of the big differences with the Force from this year as opposed to last year is there are a lot more promotions and local events going on this year. Can you elaborate a little bit on the upcoming events for the Force?
I can. My wife, who's in charge of promotions, Judy, came up with the idea that each series should have a theme to it. And with that, or that it should be tied into a sponsor. And one of the things that we felt that was necessary in terms of taking not only the Philadelphia Force, but also taking the NPF to the next level, is to attract national sponsors that don't sell products to softball teams in the softball industry.
Now, I understand you just landed your first national sponsor. Tell us a
Well,
little
we
bit
did
about
some time ago. Yeah, that's Verizon Yellow Pages. And they will be the theme of the first series against the Washington Glory, which is July 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. But July 7th being our opening night. The governor is coming in. He'll be throwing out the first pitch, along with Elizabeth Tuppeny, the CEO of Domus, who was all Ivy in her day and is in the Hall of Fame at the University of Pennsylvania. And it'll be the first of the return of the Hatfield Dollar Dog Nights on Thursday. On Friday, June 8th, we're going to Local Treasures, and this is something that we're deeply involved in. And this is a search throughout the community to highlight individuals that live and work in the Lehigh Valley and contribute that maybe people don't know about. And the first person is Ronnie Morick. She is running the softball program at Longstreth Company. Longstreth Company is probably the biggest catalog for women's sports in women's softball, lacrosse, and field hockey. And Ronnie is enshrined in the Softball Hall of Fame. She's a former player, and she'll be highlighted on that show. June 9th will be Title IX night. Of course, everybody knows what Title IX is in terms of the NCAA because it brought parity. If you talk to some of the baseball coaches, it brought an unequalization of parity. And then, of course, on June 10th, we're going to have our father-daughter brunch for that day, and that should be fun with the fathers coming out for a day game at 1 o'clock, finishing our series against Akron, against the Glory, excuse me.
Now, after the Washington Glory leave, we have the Akron Racers coming in for a series. Why don't you preview that one a little bit?
Well, the Akron Racers are the 2005 NPF champions. They come in for a 4-game series starting on the 13th, and that series has been designated Coaches for the Cure, and as you can appreciate it, that's the various types of cancer. Now, some of this is still in preparation, but some of the organizations that we're going to be highlighting are Alex's Lemonade Stand, the Susan B. Corman Breast Cancer, Women in Red Heart Association, the Shade Foundation of America. We're working on something right now that we're hopeful will get Kurt Schilling's wife, Shonda, out here for one of those events for her organization. And of course, for each of these games, part of the proceeds of ticket sales will go to the various charity. It's highlighted by the 15th, which is the Lehigh Valley Chamber of Commerce night, where all chamber members are going to be will be coming to the game, and their tickets are $5 or half price.
So they've been getting a lot of local support for these events.
Absolutely. That takes us into the Team China series, and that's one of the things that I wanted to do to improve upon from last year. Team China is one of the favorites for the bronze medal. They come in here on the 21st, but literally they're coming in here on the 19th for a dinner at Cedar Crest College that the college is putting on for the team and the Force. The 20th, they're going to be honored by the Lehigh Valley Sports Commission and given a proclamation by the mayor of Allentown. And the girls are going to a Reading Phillies game that night. And they open here on the 21st, which is Bell's Birthday Bash, our mascot. And right now we've had confirmation of 15 other mascots that will be in attendance that night, including the Philly Fanatic. And that's a 6-game series that's going to be highlighted by the Consul General is coming up from New York, bringing up several buses from Chinatown. The team is also going into Philadelphia during the daytime, both teams, to have a private tour of Independence Hall, and they're going to receive a proclamation from the mayor of Philadelphia. So we're doing it upright. culminating on the 26th, and the night before the 25th is Capital Blue Cross night. So we're really doing a nice series, and nice downtime for the Chinese Olympic team.
So the sponsorship is there, the support is there. Just need the fans to come down and watch the Force play.
That's it.
Well, that's all we have time for today on Force Forum. I'd like to thank Force outfielder Trina Peel, Associate Head Coach Ashley Moore, and owner Tom Kleinman for dropping by today. Force Forum has been brought to you by Service Electric TV2 Sports. I'm Barry Eisenberg for the Philadelphia Force and everyone at TV2 Sports. Thanks for watching, and keep swinging for the fences.
Catch the Philadelphia Force all season long exclusively on Service Electric Cable TV and Communications.